And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. I am amped because it is time here on season 3, episode 3 of Philly Comedy Club and Last Out Media's RUS GUTIN Experience on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcasts for another edition of the greatest segment that ever segmented. It's time for Say Hi to Your Mom for Me, where I, Papa Russ, check in with my comic comedian friends who have found themselves at one point or another on lockdown with their parents during the pandemic. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have our first ever couples edition with two of my favorite comics to work with and to watch work in the old world. You had seen them at New York Comedy Club, Philly Comedy Club, and Atlantic City Comedy Club, the Burbank Comedy Festival. My buddy Drew in this segment once won the epic roast battle at the Comedy Store that we've talked about on the show a bunch of times, okay? And Stewart has been seen on Maddie Smith's podcast. I believe it's That Time of the Week, is it called? If I'm not mistaken. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome for our first ever couples edition of Say Hi to Your Mom for Me, Stewart Fullerton and Drew Drevyanko, ladies and gentlemen.
Go Birds!
Go Birds, that's right. You know your audience.
I taught her well.
I learned it from him.
That's right. You got to pander to the host at all times.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, and Dara, my wife, can tell you the same, that I love hashtag Drewert. Whenever I work with them, I feel like I am going out to dinner or having coffee and cake with very good friends after high holiday services at the synagogue. They just are absolutely tremendous comics and tremendous performers. And offstage, we just have the best time. And it turns out at different points during the pandemic that they as a couple have found themselves either together or solo on lockdown with their parents. Is this true, Drewer?
It's so true. So first of all, we're not a regular comedy couple. We're a cool comedy couple.
That's right. No. I didn't put them in the other comedy couple. There's certain ones you want to steer clear of, but you're one of the best.
Exactly. So so it was a whole situation. So we live in a small Brooklyn apartment. We were both working from home. In New York, feel free to cut me off whenever, by the way. In New York, we really shut down in last March. Like, it was not a joke. Like, we fully shut down. And, the pandemic lasted a little too long, but at that point we were like serious,
Yeah.
We were miserable. We were inside for 3 months. There was not Zoom shows even happening then. There was nothing happening then. And long story short, I'm from Arkansas and I wanted to go party in Arkansas.
Right. Who doesn't? No
truth.
rules in Arkansas.
That's the truth. There's
Razorbacks don't give a fuck, man.
Razorbacks do not give a fuck. Like they don't give a fuck. And at least you have a car. We don't have to walk our laundry. I mean, it was just so hard to live in New York for no reason. So I really wanted to go home. I really wanted Drew to come with me, but something that we will get into is that my mom lives in a very small condo with lots of Wi-Fi issues, and Drew works in IT, so we kind of quarantined separately for a little bit, which apparently people thought we broke up, which is hilarious.
Oh, Jesus, no!
We had planned, it was like, okay, let's finally get out of New York. Like, maybe let's go to Arkansas. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. She's like, we can stay with my mom. And I was like, you know what? I actually think I'm going to stay in New York. But, you
Right. Yeah, no, I didn't even know they had the internet in Arkansas. This is great.
I'm not positive they do.
I'm right, not okay, yeah, cannot confirm.
I don't think they do.
So, yeah, I actually ended up staying for a few months in New York while she was in Arkansas. And then after a while, I got kind of lonely. So then, I went back to the great city of Philadelphia.
That's right.
Where my family is from. And I spent some time there while Stuart was in Arkansas. And it was tough. I mean, it was the longest we've ever been apart.
Yeah. People were definitely judging us. They were like, why aren't you guys doing it together? And I'm like, we were still talking all the time. We're still texting and talking all the time. It's just that I'm like, in Arkansas, you know.
I know, well, but you know, people don't know. They don't know the inner workings, and that's that's for
Right.
you guys. And I love that because that it shows the strength of your comedy couple relationship. Because as we know, not all comedy clubs are comedy couples are created equal, and the foundation usually is shaky, has cracks in it, and would not pass inspection. So. Right? Me and Dara have seen some of that actually like crumble
Yeah.
like during a show and at the Comedy Store. And again, I'll never forget it, and I'm grateful for seeing it. But as the showrunner, you know me, it's like I don't need this in my life.
No, I don't want to hear either side of the story.
That's right. I found parking. This night was going so well. Right. So now listen. I'm glad you guys gave us a little bit of setting the table for us and setting the scene and the circumstance. Because here on Say Hi to Your Mom for Me, what we've done, me and my genius wife Dara, we have constructed this little questionnaire that I sent you guys. It's kind of like James Lipton used to end with on Actor Studio. That's what they call your Papa Russ, the James Lipton of comedy. Yeah. Always looks like he's mid-heart attack. God bless him. Very, very sweaty. And so we've prepared the 5-question questionnaire, and you're going to answer the same questions that other guests that we've had on the show before. Your buddies, Ben DeMarco, Chris Scopo, Usama Siddiqui, they've all done this solo, but we've never had a couple. So you guys are going to chime in. I'm sure you guys already had the questionnaire. So like I said, we talked a little bit before this. So I'm so excited. Are you guys ready to play? Say hi to your mom. All right. Ding, 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 ding. If we had production, there would be all kinds of effects and the thing from Press Your Luck, no whammies. Okay. So the first question tonight on our couples edition of Say Hi to Your Mom for Me with Stewart Fullerton and Drew Drevyanko on the RUS GUTIN Experience, here we go, is how, where, and with whom were you quarantined? Now, you guys kind of answered this, but set this up a little bit again.
So I was mine's a whole situation. My mother lives in a condo in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh boy.
She's single. She's been single for a while. You know how people dread their parents dating someone else? It is my one dream that she finds someone to keep her in control and keep her normal.
Right.
But that has not happened. So I was quarantining in a small condo in Little Rock, Arkansas with my mother.
Single, ready to mingle. That's right.
Angle.
Hi now. Hi now. Now, where did you end up, Drew?
So I was in New York for a little solo, and then I went back to Philly for a while, and it was fun because my parents they're honestly, I don't think I'd have enough damage to be a comic.
Right.
My parents love me with all their heart.
They're the nicest people ever.
You guys are way too supportive. I would like a little bit of negativity around here.
I mean,
they're so supportive, it's insane. Like they're the nicest people ever.
So when I showed up, like my dad is just like your typical blue collar Eagles fan. Like we're throwing the football within like 5 minutes.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, and I was like, he's McNabb, I'm T.O. We're launching it. I was like, yeah, this is great. And it questioned, it's like, why do we put ourselves through it? In New York, of course, there's a billion reasons why New York is great.
Right.
But it was so nice because we did stick it out for the first 3-4 months, just not even leaving our apartment in New York. So to just go out and see grass. And to go out
wow.
And
to be able to drive to the grocery store, to be able to do your laundry, like
do laundry. Yeah, no, that's a huge.
Yeah, so we were in separate parts of the country, but which was I think we handled it fine. I mean, I think she cheated on me once or twice, but honestly, it's things. Yeah, I'm kidding.
Well, there's so many people coming in.
What he doesn't know won't hurt him.
Right.
Now in Arkansas, is it called Tander?
It's called Tander.
It's funny. It's funny.
Tell him.
This is a quick note on that. We were. So I actually did end up in Arkansas for about a week briefly over the summer.
He came. You came twice to visit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's what she said.
Yeah, exactly. And her friends were on Tinder, and I was kind of just like, as a taken man, happily,
Right.
I was like, hey, let me see what the pickings are like
He was
here.
like, let me see
Let's
our
peruse. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, let
yeah.
me see the guys in Arkansas. I'd love to see your vote.
Yeah, window shopping.
She's like, Drew, it's really bad. It's kind of embarrassing. And I was like, come on. I was like, just let me see the guys here. And I mean,
on Hinge.
On Hinge, which is supposed to be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know either, Russ. You don't know either, Dara. He doesn't know either. But
Hinge
on
is supposed to
Hinge,
be classy, right?
it's supposed to be classier, and they ask you questions, and then you have to answer. And so one of the questions you can say.
It was a fun fact about you. This is the guy's top line on his Hinge profile.
Okay.
Fact in Little Rock, Arkansas. And his fun fact was, and he's like a decent looking guy, like happy picture. Fun fact, I've never been kayaking. And it's like, so you thought the funnest thing about you was that you've never been
No, that's actually the least fun detail about anyone.
Why?
And
You've been by yourself on a river? How exciting. Fucking Huck Finn over here.
And
it was not a joke either.
Yeah.
And that's when people always ask me, is there comedy in Arkansas? I'm like, yeah, they don't know it, but it is there.
Yeah. It's in the eye of the beholder. And also, I would imagine that you have to own at least 2 ATVs to be on Arkansas Tinder. Or
you have those ATVs.
All the profile pictures are just.
Yeah, the ducks, like
the ducks and the deer that you shot. Also.
That's right. Yeah, lots of dead ducks. So many dead ducks. All right. So number 2, this is where the rubber really meets the road, because this is comedian to comedian. So, as comics, while on lockdown with your parents, how many alternate careers were suggested to you while at home?
So I have a good one. Mine is absolutely insane. So my mom always is suggesting that I move home, that I work at she always suggests that I work at Tropical Smoothie. And it's like,
what?
I'm working in finance. Like that's work. Or she suggests I work at a little boutique in Arkansas or something.
Yeah. Why do you have to crush ice? I don't understand.
Exactly. My grandparents, this is a whole thing, Russ. We're not even going to get into it. My grandparents own a failing horseshoe business.
Oh, like in Lord of the Rings when they forged the sword,
my grandpa is like a full blacksmith, and they own a horseshoe business. And
oh my God.
I was
even have a very ostentatious belt buckle. That doesn't track. That's amazing.
I know. I need one of those belt buckles. But it's been failing for a while, all this stuff. My mom suggested during the quarantine that I move to Shreveport, Louisiana and work at the horseshoe business.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God. Oh, how bad does she think I'm doing?
Wow.
Oh my God.
Holy fuck.
I work in, I do comedy and stuff, but I have a day job in finance. Oh my God.
Yeah, you have and I know this about you. You both have redeemable skills to society. Right. Lockdown happened, I was like, honey, we are screwed. Man, you guys are actually usable humans. That's so wow. Extra, it stings extra. Lemon juice in the
horseshoe.
I love it. Well, no, and Ben said that he got suggested that he go down to the UPS and get a job.
Oh, that's
fucking
good.
king of
I can see him at that.
King of Oregon Queens. Okay, so here we go. Now, when you are home, what food does your mommy or daddy make for you when you're feeling sadsy-wadsy?
I will plug my mother's cooking any day of the week. Like I said, they love me beyond. So I
love
come
that.
home. We don't even make dinner plans because when we show up at my
Drew doesn't
parents'
lift a
house,
finger.
there's just tables full of food. I'm just finger food. My mom's also from the South, so pimento cheese, which got north, and it's pimento cheese. There's fried chicken. There's potato salad. Yeah,
shrimp,
little salads.
wings.
And there are sometimes if I'm there by myself, I don't even go out to eat for a week just because I'm literally just standing with the fridge door open all day.
Yeah, the options are limitless. It's like your own homemade Wawa right in front of you.
Well, I and you know that I do always make at least one watch trip a day, just for the fun of it.
I'm not even at my parents' house as much as I used to be, especially when the kids were a little bit younger and then during the lockdown. But naturally, when I walk into my parents' house, I go to the fridge and I start pulling out, left salmon,
Oh yeah.
lunch meats, whatever the juiciest things I can find, because I know if it's made of fish, I'm gonna find it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I do the same thing. I say, hey, how you doing? Good to be here, and then I go right for the fridge.
Yeah, and my mom and I have the same allergies, and I know they go to Wegmans to get the fancy snacks.
Oh yeah,
Wegmans.
My parents go to Wegmans too.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing. I'm not paying that much for snacks, but I'll fucking eat theirs. You bet your ass. All right, we're on to question number 4. You guys are crushing it. Give it up for Stewart Fullerton and Drew Drevyanko on Say Hi to Your Mom for Me Couples Edition. You guys are being amazing as I expected. Now, on a scale from 1 to 10, how strange is it to have relations with yourself or others in your childhood bedroom?
Okay, Russ, we have a whole segment on this.
Oh, here we go. That's right. That's what you're getting paid the big bucks for.
Okay, so my mom is like Southern Bible Belt religious, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first brought Drew home to Arkansas, like years ago, we were not allowed to sleep in the same room. Not allowed. Ever allowed. Absolutely not.
Drew, you're going to stay at the Quality Inn
Right.
on Route 75.
No, well,
That would have been better.
that would have been better. The whole thing with my mom, like, she refuses to let us stay in the same bedroom, which is like, okay, fine, I get it. But like, also you live in a condo, like there's only 2 rooms.
Right.
And Drew's 6'7", like he actually can't sleep on the couch.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, Drew is you can't tell, by the show, but Drew is very tall. Where are you going to put him in a condo? I'm curious.
I don't know.
I don't even, yeah, he can
I look
barely
at the blueprint before I even go out. There's nowhere I can.
Nope. Geometry.
No.
So actually for us, sleeping in the same bedroom at my mom's house has been a battle we've been fighting for years and years and years.
Wow.
Like, we live together in New York. She has stayed with us in New York.
Where you stay in the same bedroom.
Right.
But you know what? You got to
Under
respect
her-
that. Stewart's house, Stewart's rules. She respected your womanhood.
Exactly, but then when I'm at her house, it's her rules. All this whole
Wow.
thing.
It's
And
Jesus' rules, Stewart.
And we fought it for years. So you'll love this story. So like, first of all, it's like my main issue with my mom. It's like, why do you care if we sleep in the same bed together? Like, it's not like we're going to start fucking and then we're looking at my Wicked poster.
Right. Yeah, no, but you guys were defying gravity if you
Defying gravity. And then
Ding.
And then we joked that like at my house, we're like, fucking in my childhood room and there's like chorus line posters. And then
Right.
at Drew's house, it's Weezer posters.
Right. Either way, both aphrodisiacs,
Yeah, right.
Both aphrodisiacs.
And Russ, I can't come unless I'm looking at a Weezer poster.
No, nothing gets the ladies going like Weezer's Pinkerton.
Right,
one of my favorite albums. Not a good relationship album.
I'd still say it's the best album of all time.
It is one of the best albums of all time. We could talk about that for hours.
That's another podcast,
Yeah.
I'm going to go in the other room, you guys.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. We're not going to circle jerk Weezer right now. We will schedule a separate time.
But so Russ, this has been a battle with my mom for like years because it's like we've been in a long-term relationship. It's not like we're like having, what I mean? It's not like we're like coming home like we have to have sex in my childhood bedroom. It's like we're adults. Like we go to bed. Like we wake up.
It's not like your mom's Tinder turnstile condo over here.
Exactly. And she always makes this big deal. Okay, so you're gonna love this story. So a few years ago, this was like 2 years ago, and my best friend in the world had a wedding in Arkansas. So Drew, of course, came. We went to the wedding, and of course, we get really drunk at the wedding.
Right.
And we go back home to my mom's house, and I'm like, fuck my mom and her rules. I'm like, Drew, I'm coming in the bed with you tonight. Like, I'm coming in the room, no matter what she says.
And even I was like, I was like, just go on the couch. Like, I don't want to start a thing.
I don't want to start a thing, but I'm drunk. So I'm like, I'm sleeping in the bed. I don't care. Like, I'm not going to sleep on the couch.
Stewart's gonna do what
I was
Stewart
like, I'm
wants
gonna
to
just
do.
do it. So I go in the room and like, of course I get in bed, blah, blah, blah. My mom bangs open the door, grabs me by my ankles, screaming, Russ, pulling me out of the bed. I turn over to get some support from Drew. He's pretending to be asleep.
I'm pretending to be asleep.
He's pretending to be asleep.
No, Drew, that's when a bear attacks your campsite. You're supposed to pretend to be dead.
Right? You gotta play dead. You gotta play dead.
I'm like, Drew, help me. And he's literally like,
And I know exactly what's happening. I know.
she drugged me out by my ankle.
Not an exaggeration.
Literally drugged me out by my ankles. Like I was literally like fully being dragged out. It was insane. Unfortunately, Russ, I got drunk the next night, tried to do the whole thing again, was re-drug out by my 2 nights in a row, drug out of the bed by my ankle.
No, but Stewart, listen, your resolve is what is the most impressive part of the story. Because even after you got revenanted by your mother and fucking I can't believe you went full, like, I'm gonna do what I saw on Man vs. Wild. You know, like you did survival tips, but the next night, no problem.
Back again.
Let's go Stewart.
Yeah, she's like, she knew her mom wouldn't think that she was gonna go for 2, but she did.
I know, like I was, it was so crazy.
Stewart, honestly, that is one of the best, and I could just picture it in my head. Just the physical, like we have to recreate that somehow. I want Meryl.
Groucho Marx could never do the physical comedy that happened.
No. And you know what? Adam Driver and Lady Gaga, I think, should also play you guys in the movie of that.
Yes.
I'm glad you guys like my post.
When I looked over and Drew was faking asleep, I almost punched him in the fucking. I was like,
yeah, no, you're lucky to be alive, bro.
I mean, like you said, I felt there was an attack happening, and sometimes you're just gonna play dead, and you know what?
Dead.
No, some people have fight or flight. You had play dead.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, holy shit. We are rounding out the final leg of this, and you guys have delivered the goods so far on Say Hi to Your Mom For Me Couples Edition, first ever Couples Edition with Stewart Fullerton and Drew Drevyanko on the RUS GUTIN Experience. So we are down to our last question of the questionnaire, and Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, I still cannot picture you being dragged out by your ankles.
And also imagine, like, this is her childhood bed, like my knees like meet the end of the bed, so they're hanging off the bed by at least 2 feet. My legs are hanging off this bed.
Oh, you should be nominated for a SAG award because it takes a lot of physical dedication to pretend you are asleep. That's a lot of Drew to pretend you're asleep. So like I said, we are down to our final question on our couples edition of Say Hi to Your Mom For Me, and this is one of my favorites. What, Drewart, if any, dark family secrets or incidents have been revealed to you by your parents during this time together?
We both have good ones for this.
Yes.
I'll go first. This it was actually I was with my mom, and we were just kind of talking about like old family friends and stuff, like people who used to come around who we hadn't seen in years. And this woman was an old family friend. Like, really, she was a big part of my childhood. I was friends with her kids and stuff. And she was all around all the time when we were younger. And my mom had never told me this. And we were talking about this woman and this. And she goes, well, you know about her first husband, right? And I was like, no, which I knew this wasn't going in a great place.
Uh-oh.
It's like, oh, he was
right.
Jeopardy.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. And she's like, well, you know her first husband? I'm like, no. She's like, I never told you. I was like, no. She's like, he was a bank robber, and she was like his assist, like his
what?
It was like his Jane, and he was Dick, and it was like they were like a Dick and Jane, and they like did time and stuff, and I was like, so you let this woman like make me hot dogs, and she's like held a gun to someone's head? I was like, I was like, are you insane? I was like,
No. Can you call DIFUS now? I mean, how old are you? What's the statute of limitations?
right. And I was like, but you would have never guessed. Like, she was the sweetest woman in the world. And I was like, she's told someone, like, give me the fucking money now. But
Yeah,
she's like,
wow.
she's
Well, you
making
don't know.
that
Maybe they
decision.
played it quiet. We don't know. I mean, we don't know how they pulled it off.
That's
Do you know?
true. That's true. I didn't know. I don't know how they worked. Yeah.
No, you guys will love this. I want to hear your answers, Stuart. You'll love this. I grew up with a kid who went to jail for robbing the same bank 3 times. Now, the first time, very cool, very impressive, got away with it. Second time, wow, this guy's a legend. But third time, maybe choose a different Commerce Bank, like,
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
you go back to the well too many times. So it was like, and I knew the getaway driver, and it was like, and he was like, yeah, the third time I was like, I don't know about this. He was like an actor with the sequel, like, I don't know. Feels like the story has kind of, resolved itself.
The bank teller is like, oh, Brian's here again.
Yeah. Oh, there's Brian. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so I
Like,
just,
we're
They're
getting
like,
it.
we got it. We're on. Yeah, we're good. Brian. Yeah, okay.
third time's the charm, as in you'll go to jail for 6 or 10. Okay, so Stuart, please tell me, like I said, what, if any, dark family secrets or incidents have been revealed to you by your parents during this time?
Oh, this one is wild, and okay. I already told you about the horseshoe situation. So
Yeah,
you
wow.
kind of have an
We're
insight.
learning a lot.
Yeah, you kind of have an insight. I try to act all cosmopolitan and cool. I am from full white trash, like cowboy farmer,
Right.
like, full cowboys, like actual cowboys. So my grandpa is sort of what you would call a Renaissance man. He was actually famous in like the rodeo circuit. He married my
Wow.
grandma very young. It's very clear to us that he's kind of a dick, and he just does what he does. Like, he's just sort of like, he's his own. That's
Right.
we get who it is. We get what it is. He's
Yeah.
kind of like this patriarch kind of guy, whatever. So when I was little, this is crazy, Russ. When I was little, he had this best friend, and it was this woman that lived she lived near us, and he was like teaching her how to be a rodeo, like teaching her how to like run a farm and be a rodeo person. And her name
Oh.
was Davida. And to be honest with you, we always growing up, we kind of thought she was super like a cowboy, like she was a woman, but she would dress like a man, really.
Right.
Honestly, I always grew up thinking it was like the first trans person I ever met.
Oh.
Yeah, because she really like looked like a man. Like, I thought she was trying to be a man. We didn't really know, but her name was Davida. Okay. And she was always around when we were little. And I found out over quarantine because we brought up Davida in the stories, and I ended up having a glass or two of wine.
Whoopsie
And I
daisy.
started talking to my mom about Davida, and she's like, well, you know the truth about Davida, right?
Right? Yeah, see?
I'm
Always. No, I don't.
Well, I'm like, oh, that she was trans? And my mom's like, no. That, like, she was a woman. And then she goes, that, well, and my grandparents, by the way, my grandparents are happily married. They've been married forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. She goes, Davida was Papa's mistress.
Whoa.
And she lived on my grandparents' property, and my grandma made her a lunch every day. And
Sister wives.
Literally, well,
Equestrian sister wives.
so then I'm like, oh my God, Davida was a mistress the whole time. And then my mom goes, do you remember when you were little, you had that book? And I was like, wait, what book? Do you remember when we were little and they would make like personalized books that would be like, Russ, you might not have had this.
Yeah, no, I kind of
like,
remember.
Russ goes to town, and you could like plug in names, and it was like a gift.
Yeah.
I had a book called Davida, Papa, and Stewart Go to the Farm.
Uh-oh.
So I literally had a book about my grandpa and his mistress going to the farm with me
Oh.
when I was little.
Not even to the Cold Stone, just to the barn.
Not even to the Cold Stone, just to the barn. I found that out, and then my mom goes, yeah, and Davida wasn't the only one. apparently my grandpa had all these
A stable, if you will.
I mean, a
stable.
cowboy is a cowboy. You know,
And-
you don't mess with a cowboy.
Here's the funniest. This is the funniest one.
Right.
She goes, well, this is a whole thing, but my grandpa also can't read.
Oh,
And
wow.
And
Well,
Drew-
you can read Braille if you know what I mean. Zip
right,
it.
right, he can read them titties.
Right.
But Drew goes, what do you mean he can't read? Like, he can read. And then my whole family was like, no, like, what would he read? Like,
And I actually didn't have an answer. I was like, I don't know.
He
what
doesn't
would
read. But long story short, my mom goes, one of his mistresses, you know, was this English teacher, you know, that we hired, that Mama hired to teach him how to read. And we all know the ending to this one. He still can't read.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. Well, he
So they were just banging.
Wow, he used his pointer power, as we tell the kindergartners. He used his pointer
Which is
power.
like, you know, after hearing that, it's like, pull your kids out of school, become a cowboy. What's the
Wow. Well, I have to tell you, Stewart, I could never have imagined that you would tell me about your horseshoe making grandpa.
I know. It's
Stable
Yeah,
of
nothing.
one of which may or may have not been a dude who wrote a
right?
book.
He like looked like a dude. It was crazy. I fully thought she was trans, like fully.
No, and you were like, you know, first of all, give it up for Stewart for being an evolved person. She's like, yeah, I love Davida, they.
I was in fifth
love
grade,
that.
like inclusivity.
Yeah, but you're like, nope, turns out Grandpa Steppener, while he was shoeing the horses, you know, while he's putting fucking Jordans on Mr. Ed, and then, I mean, absolutely, you guys, I have to tell you, you guys have absolutely knocked it out. We have had some really good say hi to your moms for me, but I would say that this one is like the Golden Globes awards favorite. It's got acts. It's got act 1, 2, and 3. Holy crap. I mean, drama, intrigue. Oh, wow.
Horseshoes.
And also, again, yeah, no, the act, again, I really do need to recreate the action sequence of Stewart with it's also the Wicked poster in the background while all this is happening.
Yeah.
I have to say, that's what brings it up for me. Drew pretending to be dead and asleep, you dragged out in the name of Jesus by your ankles, but then also Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth just chilling, you know, defying gravity.
So it never gets old. That's where it never gets old.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, you have to give it up for Stewart and Drew on season 3, episode 3 of our first ever couples edition of Say Hi to Your Mom for Me on Philly Comedy Club and Last Out Media's RUS GUTIN Experience on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcast. Give it up for Drew. Thank you guys. You guys are the best.
Russ,
Words.
we love you, Russ. You're the king of Philadelphia, and
Thank you.
We got to do live shows again soon.
Oh, I hope so. In the year 2022, I can't wait to see you guys, and I will rule with an iron fist. Thank you for calling me the king of Philadelphia. We'll give it up one more time for Drew, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Oh,